Some stories break your heart not because of what we know but because of how little we understand. This is the disappearance of Asha Degree, a 9-year-old girl who walked out of her home in the middle of the night into a storm, carrying a backpack, and was never seen again. Asha Degree's case isn't just disturbing, it's baffling. She wasn't a runaway. She wasn't in trouble. She had a loving home, strict parents, and no history of behavioral issues. Yet in the early hours of Valentine's Day 2000, she vanished into the dark, and more than 2 decades later, investigators still don't know why. Let's go back to that night. Asha lived in a close-knit family in Shelby, North Carolina. Her parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, were protective and involved in their children's lives. On February 13th, Asha went to church and then to bed like normal. Sometime after 2 o'clock in the morning, she quietly got out of bed, took her backpack, which had been packed with clothes and personal items, and walked out the front door. She left in the middle of a rainstorm. At around 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 separate drivers spotted a small girl walking along Highway 18. One of them turned around to check on her, but by the time he circled back, she was gone. That was the last confirmed sighting of Asha Degree. When her parents woke up around 6:30 to get the kids ready for school, they found her bed empty. Her backpack, jacket, and sneakers were missing. Police and volunteers launched an immediate search. Dogs, helicopters, search teams, but there was no sign of her, no trail. It was as if she had simply disappeared into the night. Then came the first clue. 3 days later, searchers found a hair bow, one Asha had been wearing, in a nearby tool shed, about a mile from her home. The shed was near where the drivers had seen her walking. That confirmed she had made it that far on foot. But there was no sign of a struggle, no fingerprints, no DNA from anyone else. And then, almost a year and a half later, a construction crew digging off Highway 18 26 miles away discovered a plastic bag buried underground. Inside it was Asha's backpack. It had been double wrapped in trash bags. Her name and items were inside. That backpack has never been released to the public. The FBI has never said what exactly was found inside, which suggests it might contain investigative value. But that was in 2001. Since then, the case has remained open and agonizingly cold. There are several theories. One is that Asha was lured or groomed by someone who convinced her to leave home, possibly someone she met at school, church, or through mailed correspondence. But no credible suspect has ever been identified. Another theory is that she was a target of opportunity. Someone saw her walking in the dark and took her. But what are the odds of that happening to a 9-year-old girl on the one night she leaves home? And then there's the hardest question: why did she leave in the first place? She wasn't known to be unhappy. She had no online access. Her family wasn't abusive. She had a basketball game the day before and seemed excited about an upcoming Valentine's Day party. In 2020, the FBI released new information. They were looking for details about a vehicle, a 1970s or early 80s Lincoln Continental or Ford Thunderbird, seen in the area around the time of her disappearance. But no arrest or suspect ever came from that lead. As of today, Asha Degree has been missing for over 24 years. She would be 33 years old. Her parents have never stopped searching. Her mother keeps her room preserved just in case. The case remains open with the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. There is a $45,000 reward for information leading to her recovery or the arrest of the person responsible. Asha Degree didn't vanish into thin air. Someone knows why she left. Someone saw something. And someone out there may hold the key to bringing her home. If you know anything, even the smallest detail, contact the FBI or your local law enforcement. Silence is not protection, it's obstruction. And after all this time, Asha still deserves answers. Like, share, and subscribe.